Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Whoopsies, microphone was off. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, let's do this again. Why does this happen to me? This is too much stuff to click. Okay, so guys, I have my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go. That's what I basically said. And we're going to talk about some very interesting stuff. But now you should hear me, right? Do you hear me? If so, then please let me know if you can hear me now. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is altcoins. Altcoin season, is it confirmed? Or is it just in the making? What's happening? We're also going to talk about our new Bitcoin all-time high. And what's happening afterwards. So from yesterday to today, how did it develop? And we're going to talk about some Ecomi and Veve stuff, Veve metrics, see a little bit, hey, are we growing? What's going on? Yeah, all of that in the stream. The intro, you've already seen it with sound, so why the heck would I bother with the intro? And you saw Janet Yellen saying that we're going to dump an ape into all the bags. So let's go. Yeah, I drink coffee. You're absolutely right. Drink the fucking coffee first. Oh, that was good. Thanks for that, because sometimes even that I forget, right? But welcome to the stream, everyone. Thank you for letting me know so fast that I did my intro without sound. And please smash up the like button for the stream. We have 17 people here eagerly waiting to see what's going on in crypto. That is good. And let's see, there's a ton of people here like, Omicron says, whoa, PH, you've aged. Thanks, boy. That's exactly what people want to hear. No, honestly, that's probably true. Or did you mean Janet Yellen? But nonetheless, thanks for the compliment. And I think I cannot go way up, but Omicron said it is 2 a.m. Also, we have here G-Money, Trucking Hank, Energy, good morning, what's going on? A lot of rare hodlers brings me to the point. If you want to do more than smashing up the like button right now, which is highly appreciated, 23 people now in here, so people are piling up, then you can also become a channel member. With being a channel member, you first of all get minted here on the screen. Mints are in the 30s now. You see all of these rare hodlers here behind me, and then also you get access to our exclusive little Telegram group, where we are talking about all that stuff constantly, daily. Yeah, and sometimes we are performing giveaways and whatnot, and some cool community events like meeting up at Crypto XR or a crypto event, or doing something. We have some cool. We have a little bit of a cool stuff in the making, but we can. If you are in the group, if you're in the Telegram group, you cannot tell people about it. Okay. Anyways. Andre Omigeko says, GMPH, how is life? Life's pretty good. I'm getting better. So that's very good. Big A says, I've been buying meme coins on AVEX the day they launched. About to be 10x on the one I bought Sunday called Degen. I love the market, the bull market. Absolutely, congratulations, whoever aped into that. Omi 190M says, morning, PH finally made it to your live. So a lot of people being up late or early to make it to the live stream. I appreciate that a lot. If you're early, then I hope you have a coffee. If you're late, I don't know. There are some people that drink coffee very late. I saw that on business trips all the time. Like restaurant, 11 p.m., the fuck, they don't care. They just, hey, can I have a cappuccino, coffee, or espresso, whatever. If I would do that, I would be up all night. Maybe good for the channel, because then I can make videos all night. 22 billion only locked for a year or two at least. A blessing or curse, we don't know. But for sure you cannot dump, even if some would say, oh, we have to liquidate the 22 billion OMI, you couldn't dump that in the market. So there's no liquidity. So if you dump that into the market, you don't get anything for it after 5 seconds, right? Because people will not be able to buy it up, and then, yeah. You saw it the entire bear market with the bears. Like with the what is it called, with the like ex-founders, advisors, whatever, they tried to offload in the entire year a couple of billion OMI, and they couldn't sell it. No, they couldn't sell it all. They are still selling. So you cannot dump 22 billion. Yeah, pro legendary, let's go. Good morning. So Bitcoin. This is a very rare event, so bookmark this, because we are in a stage where we are looking at 4-hourly charts, and that just to determine what's going on with Bitcoin after hitting this this high. And the preliminary analysis is we are forming something like this. So we are in a very short, like every candle is 4 hours, we are in a very short downtrend. Is this sustainable? We don't know, because look at this. Yesterday, for example, they liquidated $1 billion of leveraged positions, and we are coming back to this, but then BlackRock at the same time was like, okay, discount, bought 12,500 Bitcoin, 14x the daily supply, and that's like 14x the daily current supply. I don't know why he wrote new supply, because the new supply, this is 900 is the daily supply, which would be a rough 14x. Once again, let's see the chat, because you guys want to talk about Bitforex, right? Patrick Bultman says, GM lost 15 million OMI on Bitforex. Now everything's stored on a ledger. Hard lesson. Absolutely painful to hear. So many people here on this channel, even though we covered it, the whole bear market, they lost some funds. But I guess, so there are different reasons why people do this. First of all, not everyone wants to deal with ledger and so on. Then many people thought, oh, 70 euros I can also buy, or like $100 I can also buy 200k OMI with that, right? Then some people just had too many exchanges and bought left and right, and then they didn't get it off. So there are many reasons, and I understand it, right? OMI 190 says, weren't the former founders using Bitforex to dump? Also, John's Cryptotherapy was using Bitforex to manipulate the markets. I don't know which exchange they used. They probably used many exchanges, because or all of the exchanges, because if you look across the board, we had, for example, sometimes you had big orders on Ascendex, and you had sometimes very big differences in price between all of these exchanges, right? So sometimes you were looking at Bitforex and OKX, and it's like, okay, it's one price. It was like 0008, and then on Ascendex it was 0007. So depending on where, sometimes they could buy on a discount or even buy a large chunk on Sendex, move it to OKX and sell it instantly, and do an arbitrage trade. Season 3 OG says AIT, Protocol, and BitTensor TOA are my top 2 picks for this cycle. Well, probably because you're already in this position a longer time. AIT Protocol, I don't know, but BitTensor is already pretty big market cap, right? So the question is, how many X's can you get out of that from now after it has already pumped so much? What's your prediction for Bitcoin all-time high? That's a very good question, and we are coming to that. That's a very good question. We're actually discussing not only, I think it's not so much about the price target. My price target is 135K. But it's more about the timing, and this is something we're going to address soon. But let's look at this first. This is very interesting. This looks like nothing, but it is very interesting. So Arizona State Senate is considering, with this officially considering, not like, let's see, adding Bitcoin ETFs to its state retirement portfolios. So whenever there are pension funds and retirement portfolios thinking about or maybe adding Bitcoin, that's pretty good, because that is not like Bitcoin in, Bitcoin out and done. This is like Bitcoin inflows and then holding. Did you see Living a Lower video about Veve current cash out provider concerning at least Cavell also reacted to it? I didn't see it yet, but I know that that the current cash out provider doesn't have, it's probably about that they don't have the money transmitter license in many states, right, of the US. They only have like 2 states and some other countries. Is it about that? Let me know. If not, I will watch it after the stream for sure. Gaming, hey gaming, what's going on? TomTom says Tau can go to 3,000 to 5,000. I own Tau since $50 and been mining and getting more Tau. No one will sell. We get too much Tau from mining. If you get too much Tau from mining and it goes from $50 to $1,000, don't you think that people that are mining Tau will take profits? Isn't that like exactly the reason why this will maybe not do 100x from if it's, I don't know what the current price is, but it's like, what is it, $200 or so? Mining, staking in the wallet. No one will sell Tau. Yeah, but why? If I was at $1,000, like up from $50, and I constantly mine this thing, I can just dump it into the market and constantly have revenue, right? Not mining, I mean staking. Oh yeah, okay. So many people are staking, and then there's probably a lockup period. What's a lockup period? There are thousands of holders of Tau who've been buying. By the way, 35 people here. Smash up the like button, guys, if you liked and enjoyed the stream. The discussion is already rolling. I like that a lot. Crazy Dan says Mr. Pax lost 5,000 USD worth of OMI on Bitforex, and Crypto Rain lost 3 million OMI. Even the pros make mistakes. Cold storage is the best solution, 100%. And for Crypto Rain's probably like he was probably buying, and then after it reached a certain stack, got it off the exchange. So 3 million got hit in that thing. Oh yeah, okay, Tau is 700. Will be like 10k or 100k and more, no lockup. I remember that's from somewhere. So like, was it Terra Luna? But yeah, probably not the same. But yeah, I hope that it happens, guys. I mean, if you are sitting on big bags and it goes to like 10,000 or 100,000, then yes. Yes, it was about not having MTL, but also many comments about people losing money to a hack after giving their info, and also it's like an office in a shipping center, not a real bank. I mean, that is unfortunately very common these days, that they just have a post office somewhere where they, like Bitforex also, and then they're just working all from home office or I don't know what, right? Or remote. There are entire crypto projects, companies, banks, exchanges that do not have an office where they meet. They are literally just all work remote. And probably if you look up, if you try to visit Veve headquarter, I doubt that you find a corridor full of offices. They also, like many, work in smaller groups somewhere around the world, but I doubt that they have like a big office where they all come in every day. But I'm not sure. I mean, could be, but I don't think so. Crypto Rain said he had his P. He had his what? The way TOA works is it has to be mined to have. There is no VC or large companies holding. It's all organic. That's why it's not on a lot of exchanges. Oh, okay, I understand. I own the same Tau, bought 1,000 Tau at 45 to 55. So you have 1,000 Tau. Why wouldn't you sell if it goes to $1,000? No, if it goes to $10,000. Why wouldn't you sell? Don't you want to take profit? So anyways, let's carry on a little bit with the news and let this discussion rolling. So this chart here is from a bank. And this just happened, right? This happened yesterday. New York Community Bank crashes over 40% and has been halted for news pending. Well, I don't know the exact news, but there is something going on, right? And usually we were saying already that for Jerome Powell to lower interest rates, you have to have something happening in the market which will cause them to cut rates and to make the money basically cheaper. And usually that's when banks are going down. So we will see if that's actually the case here, if this is one of those symptoms. And what we also can look up is quickly, if we look up Jerome Powell, they were talking, he had a speech yesterday, 7 hours ago. Bloomberg, I don't know if I can open Bloomberg without paying, but yeah. So he basically said, I don't know what this is showing now results in German, but he was basically saying that they are expecting rate cuts this year, but they wanna wait, so they don't lower the rates. And some people were expecting lowering rates right now. Powell also says he's open to changing in Fed bank capital rules. Okay, Fed expecting continued growth at a solid pace. Lawmakers, okay, but the big message is that they're not lowering rates as fast. So just keep that in mind. And then Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin in Egypt just had a 100,000 Egyptian dollar candle. So the price of Bitcoin in Egypt surges by 1.3 million Egyptian pounds as the country's currency has depreciated over 34% in only 48 hours. So this is nothing funny, but it shows where fiat currency is headed and where basically how Bitcoin is a hedge against that. Because I mean, if you look at this chart and you look at the depreciation, if you had saved money under the pillow versus buying Bitcoin somewhere, you now are in the position to sell minor fractions of the Bitcoin to sustain your life, versus if you had money under your pillow and it depreciates like 34% in 48 hours. That's the difference of having like from 1 day or from 1 day to 2 days afterwards. It's like having $100 and then only $70 of purchase power, or let's go with $10 and only $7 afterwards. So half, like 34% of your daily purchase or your weekly purchase just wiped out in 48 hours. So whenever I remember when all the bears in the bear market made fun of Bitcoin is not a hedge against inflation, blah blah blah, and laughing at bulls, we constantly get now the proof that it is a hedge against inflation. We just don't see it so much in currencies that depreciate like 0.001% each day, right? You don't feel it in that sense. But in Egypt now, with this candle, like a god candle on the depreciation chart, you feel it. Good morning, Troy Paris. Scamming and drugging is the feature of crypto, but it's what it is made for. Yeah, and I think it will get washed out over time, like with more and more serious institutions coming in. The scamming and the drugging, like law enforcement will learn, and they will also learn that there's actually a market for them, because you have to see, if you really see it, every law enforcement agency is just like a business. They need a reason to be there, and they need to justify budgets, and they need to do something to, like, for example, you open an investigation and it needs to be that in a way that you can solve it, so that afterwards you have high crime solved rates, so that you can then request a budget to get more equipment, to increase salaries, to hire more staff, and so on. So technically, that's true, right? So yeah, AIT protocol is being discussed, and I will for sure take a look at this after that. But let's look at this. So here we have it again, like net inflow at this time was 10,500. BlackRock largest inflow of the day, 12. So the net inflow is 10.5K, and BlackRock alone eats up 12.6K. So there is some outflows as well. So we're looking at that here. So you see here, Grayscale has a net outflow of 5,200 BTC, whereas BlackRock alone consumes 12,600 BTC, Fidelity 2,000, ARK Invest 1,000 Bitcoin, Bitwise loads up 60, and Invesco sells 222 Bitcoin, Vanek 5, Franklin Templeton 56, and Wisdom Tree another 106. So, and you see here some of them on that day that we went red, they also had bigger outflows, like Invesco, Vanek, and Wisdom Tree had outflows there. But you see the net change down below, even though with a Grayscale loading of about 5,000. So basically what's happening is that at this price, Grayscale is supplying half of the Bitcoin demand of the other ETFs. Or in other words, whoever is in, like the institutions that are in GBTC, they're getting out of GBTC and most likely buying at one of the others. And the reason for that could be that the fees are way lower on the other ETFs, and also, as we said before, that Genesis is still selling Bitcoin to repay their debtors, right, after the bankruptcy. So that's definitely also a reason. But overall, if we continue with a net demand of, or a net inflow of 8 to 10,000, we're at $60,000 price level, and this is the demand. So that would make every potential dip that would have occurred differently before very, very much shallow, right? And that is what we're also seeing. I didn't forget the question, by the way, for the timing, but I want to show this to you, and it looks complicated. It looks like a circus with all these colors, but let's not get confused or not fall in despair. So usually what happened was basically that you have a first and a second early top, and then you have your real top, right? And the time frame between the previous all-time high, the first and the first and second early top, and then the blow-off top was more or less the same. Like the timing was like the phases were more or less in the same time. And what you see is that you have green is with the exception of here, green is accumulation, blue is preparation like pre-bull, red is going to new all-time highs. Yeah. So in the end of red, there's new all-time high. So what's now happening is that these phases, they happened faster this time. So as you can see here, there was basically this guy is saying that the cycle is too early, like 1 year too early. So he says, I believe that our cycle may be almost a year accelerated, shown by our earlier than expected all-time high touch. So you have the all-time high touch. This is the marked small line, right? And you see that we have this always in the red phase, like the after the halving phase, so to say. We have this all-time high touch. Here it's already a little bit shorter than here, but here it seems to be way short. Like the phases are way shorter. It should have happened. Everything should have happened like a year stretched out. So what this means is this would give us a cycle top of plus minus 21 days from November 28, but 2024 and not 2025. So 1 year early. So 2023 would have been a green and blue year hybrid, having a mix of accumulation and preparation for new all-time highs, which would typically be 2 separate years in the 4-year cycle. So basically that's here, the green hybrid. That would be a longer time frame. So yeah, there's a little bit confusion now because of that fast run up. And yes guys, we have 40 people here, so make sure to smash up the like button. Let's have 40 likes on this live stream if you appreciate all of that. I think all of us in the USA are pretty worried until we get a new exchange or more for Omi. Yeah, that's probably true. And also, like, the US market is where the volume is. So that's why you need those exchanges. The Coinbase wallet swapping or Uniswap just don't work too well for selling, and the fees are brutal. Yeah, that's for sure. Like if you're on Ethereum, then the fees are very, very high. I thought USA can buy Bitmart. Bitmart is very small, but Bitmart has Omi. Yes, if the US can the US can access Bitmart, then that would be an option. But don't leave it on the exchange. We got into Bitcoin cycle 2 in 2016. Congratulations. I hope you held through all the cycles and now you have big Bitcoin back. No, Bitmart does not work in the US. Plus Bitmart is on a similar list as Bitforex for not being a good exchange, but that was put out by Japan. Yeah, so I don't think that necessarily the Bitforex going down has only to do with whether Japanese authority like it or not, because if you're I mean, you're listed in Hong Kong, but on that list there are other exchanges like Bybit and BitGet and so on, and Maxi. They all didn't go down. So it's not that this is the only and sole criteria. I think that's something else. Thank you for liking, TomTom, and thanks for the discussion. So here's another one I think that is interesting for Bitcoin on a very high time frame. So basically what we are seeing here is like compression of Bollinger Bands. I think it's the Bollinger Bands. He doesn't explain it too much, but we see like we have this repetition in the cycle, and basically we have the same, like the coming out of the compression very likely at this point. So this is pre-explosive move stage, and these are 2 months candles. So 2 months, one candle, right? And we're now in the next 2 months where we are expanding, and that is where these bands are broadening, as you see here, and we are moving in the outer line of these bands until the bear market starts. So, and we have the same here down here on the logarithmic Bollinger Band width. So that means this index here is measuring in another curve how tight or how broadened they are, and we have the same signal basically that we are at this turning point. So basically we would expect a run up here. Maybe we have a downtrend here, right? We would expect now a run up for 6 to 8, maybe 10 months. That is at least what I would derive from all of the models, and I think it's a good one to include in from time to time analysis. Now let's get to altcoin season, as we promised in this in the beginning of the stream. So there's basically this ribbon, and it's very good at calling the transition time and then into altcoin. So what we're looking at is the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin and stable coins on a weekly basis, and the tops are marked with this little hammer, and we see that basically once this ribbon flips green, we are starting the altcoin run up. So obviously this was massive, and here we have also this big altcoin run up until after, like the hammer is the Bitcoin top, I think, the altcoin top out, but also this coincides with the Bitcoin top more or less. And here we see the flip of the ribbon, then the bear market in red. It's not, apparently not, so if it flips gray, it confirms the bear market. It's not good to wait until the red, as it seems, because then you're already deep in the territory. That's probably, if it flips red, you can buy altcoins but not sell anymore. So, and that just flipped green. And so what we are expecting is that we have a run up here to at least 4 trillion or so, which would then be, yeah, you see here the diminishing returns, right? So altcoin season 2024 is confirmed by this, which doesn't mean, in my opinion, that it already has begun to give the returns that it should, but it has started a run up. Yeah. Hammer time, absolutely. So so where is June 2025? Yeah, that's the big question. So if you go by a normal cycle timing, you would end up in June somewhere 2025. But as you've seen in the chart before, in this chart, if we really have like this challenging of the new all-time high, if this really means that that cycle-wise we are accelerated because of maybe global liquidity, and the halving is not the big factor here at the moment, and ETFs, then it could also be that everything happens faster, and we're really looking at a Bitcoin top out already in the end of this year. And that could happen, right? I mean, a lot of technical analysts are also finding that we're moving fast and we might top out already there. So it now becomes a little bit of an uncertainty, which we need to monitor closer. But if you go to Bitcoin, now it's I think it's very interesting how long we would see a retrace and when we really go to like having a candle close above this new high, or at this new high. So if we look at let's go on the monthly directly. If we are looking at the Bitcoin cycle here also, you see that the time from the bottom, or the time between the top and challenging the new high here at around the halving, it took way longer than this time to reach that. Yeah, that's basically what is expressed in the other chart. So if we would say, okay, we have this run up and we only have until the top out now 8 months. What is 8 months? That's like 300 days. Not even, right? That's 275 or so. That would put us really only in November. That means we would have this run up here and that's it, right? But actually that's good, right? If we don't have to wait 2 years to find a new all-time high and to have an explosive altcoin season. And I mean, you know that we're looking at these indicators here a little bit more closer. We're monitoring the Google search trends and so on. But we first need, in my opinion, a conviction break of the all-time high. That little scam wick to a new all-time high, I don't take it too seriously, to be honest. Not because I want to be right at all costs. I don't give a shit if I'm right. But if we retrace and we take months or 2 months now to re-challenge, or we just stay under this, then I would consider as if this didn't really happen cycle-wise. And then I would say, okay, maybe then we have to calculate from wherever this breaks here or after the halving, right? So let's say we go down and retest this, and then we come up and we go look like this. Then I would say, okay, the old cycle timing is on track, and this was just to liquidate. This was just a whale game. Yeah, because there's no candle body close up there. Nonetheless, this is something that we have to observe. So what I do say is still, hey, 135k probably in the cards. I don't think that we will have a 500k Bitcoin this cycle. I think that's way overshot in expectations, but it's getting really interesting. And until the halving, we do have 44 days. So we're still scheduled for 20th of April, more or less, I think. So it's getting interesting because now, basically we have 2 weeks, and then we are starting into the last month before the halving. And really, it would be interesting to see if BlackRock and the ETFs really are just pushing it higher no matter what, or if with the ETFs we can also see something like this, right? Would it be so out of the let's say reasoning that maybe GBTC just keeps on selling hard and the other ETFs just absorb for a prolonged time, because GBTC has 28 billion worth of Bitcoin, so they can actually sustain 2 months of the same outflows as right now. They can. But the real deal, the real leader is Ethereum. The real leader for altcoins, because we wanted to talk about the altcoin. What about altcoin season? And what we're seeing is that Ethereum is trying to breach this resistance right now. and is challenging it on a weekly. So it's basically there. It's challenging here. Up here is another one. So basically, it's, you see here with the confluence here. So this is a very noisy area, right, between those lines, and this is exactly where Ethereum is stuck. But Ethereum has to do some catch up, because actually after Bitcoin hits the previous high, Ethereum usually catches up within 2 to 3 weeks, or even a month. If this happens, maybe Bitcoin is stuck, profits flow into Ethereum, and Ethereum does another 22% pump to challenge its own previous high. And if that happens, it's leading the altcoin market, right? So if that happens, then we could see a bigger move out of the altcoins. If Ethereum does a 22% pump, we could see from lower, or every altcoin is lower, right? But we can even see 40, 50, 60, 90% pumps out of the other coins. So I'm not talking about BNB or Solana or something, but it's everything that's like down from the top 50 or so. We can see these big, even in the top 50, we can see these big pumps, in my opinion. Now, once again, and I cannot stress this enough, for me, the big indicator is not any ribbon for altcoin season, but actually the Bitcoin dominance. And Bitcoin dominance tried to break above this line here now several times at 55%, and it did lose 1.5% to the broader market, which is why probably altcoins held a little bit more stable here. Some altcoins were pumping, but in the broader picture, once again, the Bitcoin dominance is, the trend is up. So right now, this is still the trend, and even though we are consolidating here, until I see the lower this lower support for Bitcoin dominance broken, where we had it to also once already, until I see that broken and us falling off, I don't see that the altcoin season is going into the steep parabola. Good morning, Motili, what's going on? Chago Solis, what's up, PH? 50 people here, guys. Smash up the like button. Awesome stuff. We have so many people here that are interested in the altcoin season and in the stuff that we're talking about. That is awesome. 50 people at Crypto Morning Coffee. I raise my coffee mug to that. So make sure to smash up the like button for this one. And we're going to see how this plays out. So yes, we have a little bit of a wick rejection here on the weekly, but this could be just a pre in the Bitcoin. When Bitcoin flies off past all-time high, I'm very sure that we will see a higher value percentage of Bitcoin dominance. And that doesn't mean that altcoins cannot do well. I mean, altcoins did well while we were moving sideways here. If the entire market cap grows, you can move sideways and altcoins still go up, right? Everything goes up, but the dominance stays the same. If the market cap expands and every coin gets the same share and allocation according to their size, Bitcoin dominance stays the same. Yeah, if you allocate 1 trillion and you give 53.66% of that 1 trillion into Bitcoin, Bitcoin goes up tremendously but stays the same in dominance, and then you allocate to the other coins, right? But I think it will increase. That's the bottom line. So, hey, Tong just subscribed. Welcome to the fam. And No Tactics is here. Good morning. What's up? A quick look at Bitcoin, at USDT, US Tether. So let's see that. So Tether also, US Tether, in the same way that we are forming, like that we have this indecision in Bitcoin to get past all-time high, you see this huge wick up candle for USDT. So that is massive profit taking at Bitcoin all-time high, when Bitcoin hit the new all-time high. That is massive profit taking, because I mean, it technically on a lower time frame, that's a bounce back, almost back to the previous broken level. But then again, just one day after, a massive tether was allocated, and now we are at the same level. So it seems to me that whales took out a massive chunk of profits from BTC and allocated it to other coins in the market. So this is what if tether, you have to see, if tether goes down, that means people are allocating tether. If tether goes up, it means that people are selling something and getting tether. Okay, so what we are expecting is that tether outflow goes to this level relatively soon. Another 8% downwards move on the tether that we have, and the dominance therefore losing another 0.5% of all tether being allocated to the market. Tong says, appreciate your analysis, PH. Smash that like button and sub. Let's go. Omi190 says, meme coins get listed on tier 1 exchanges with a week, yet Omi keeps making excuses. With Bitforex going down, they should prioritize tier 1 exchange. Biggest problem, they don't want to pay. I think, I think if they wanted to get on exchanges, probably they can by paying, and yes, maybe they don't want to pay, but I think the time for, hey, oh, look at this cool coin, we're going to list it, is over, because all exchanges know that if they just don't list coins, people will offer money for listing coins. Hey Luke, what's going on? Good morning, and thank you for all the support. Like Luke supporting this channel since a very long time. Yeah, that's the altcoins, nothing changed, so we're going to fly over that. Let's look at Ecomi, because Ecomi is actually pretty interesting. Ecomi is still at this again at this resistance as we monitored it, and we are in this zone once again. Now this time we have a more slow and steady creep up into the zone, and we will see if we get smacked down once again, or if this is finally the time where we can break above and find support here. So as I said before, like we hammered this overhead resistance so many times that now at some point it's weakened and we should be going up. With all the negativity, it's actually surprising that Ecomi is up there and not back down in the whale accumulation range, which is here, like where everyone is selling to the whales. It's surprising, but on the other hand, like you see, we're here with Bitforex down, people lost funds, whales still selling, no utility yet, despite the soft staking and some stuff like that. So it's actually surprising that we're here, and it just needs one more news event that affects Ecomi in whatever type, and we will go and fly to 0018. I'm pretty sure. We just need one type of news from here, and we will make a 70% move for Omi. And that coincides with what I just said, right? Even out of the crypto market, that would not be out of the ordinary to make this type of move. Trucking Hank says, in the original tokenomics, how much were the Omi buybacks supposed to be? Bitforex lockups could be very bullish. What was it? Like a percentage of the revenue would go into buybacks was the original plan, but I don't remember what the percentage share was. Like 5%? I don't know. But so so we see here like the next steps for the Omi token development update from January 25. So it's not too long ago. That's like a month and a bit ago, like a month and a week ago. And we see here improving accessibility of the token is a priority. Yeah, the goal is to have quick and easy ways for users to acquire and utilize the Omi token. Okay, so that for me should be not only exchanges but buying Omi directly in app. we are progressing plans around Omi to NFT. And actually, we looked at this a while, like a couple of days ago, when when the Ecomi channel said on Twitter that the next utility to be implemented is Omi to NFT. So that is, LSD Mind is here, just jumped in, GM Patient. Nico is here. Hey, what's going on? How do I read this? Because you're writing that every day, right, Nico? This is like, hey, hey, hey. This is like that. In case that you missed it, Omi reward season. So that's basically it. That's basically the 2 points that we are demanding, right? Exchanges, accessibility, and Omi to NFT. And that would make the Omi price fly. So if we get Omi to NFT, that would be the most bullish catalyst of them all. Like, MCP is fine, but you can get MCP by just buying collectibles. So, and then here is so actually the prices on the Veve app, they're falling at the moment, at least in the comic sphere, because I'm heavy on comics. So if you see here, my vault value is, so I was at 7,500-ish, and now my vault value is down to 6.7. Something like that. Okay. Omi to NFT is confirmed. Yeah, I know. It's confirmed, but I want to see it executed. Hopefully Omi to NFT gets implemented without a long beta testing phase. We all know how long the beta testing takes. Yeah. I mean, still having some beta testing would pump the price, because then it's like, oh, it's here, we can do it. Foster is big time teasing some news and updates in March about Omi. Yeah, I mean, we have like a week or so to South by Southwest, so that's a lot of Veve updates, right? And then obviously we are in March, and we have the sports and the music vertical, even though that the music vertical has no big brands, but maybe we can discuss that as well. But if we're looking at the grails here, they hold pretty firm. So it's not the grails that are losing so much value. I mean, we see some on the 7-day, we see some 10%, 15% sell-offs, 18%, 15%. So that could be already it, right? That we are seeing across the board, across collectibles. Like, some collectibles are down 23%, some of them are down 4%, some of them are up. So depending on which collectibles you have, and probably it's like just like me having some secret rares that went down in price. But here we see it. I mean, maybe we can check it out with the comics. So that Veve collectibles are, yeah, so here we see it, for example, more. So Marvel Comics is down 15% on the week. If you have bags there, Amazing Spider-Man Secret Rare 25%, 17%, 20%, 30%. So across the board, like, the comics seem to be more reddish than the rest. So that explains why my vault value is a little bit down. But I'm not concerned about that, because we have time. Pro Legendary says Veve has the money to sponsor a boxer, but don't want to list the token or the tier 1 exchange. Yeah, I don't know, whatever gives more visibility, right? But they actually, I mean, it is logical. It makes absolute sense for them to sponsor a boxer, right? They launch a sports vertical. You want to be visible for the same collectibles for this guy, right? So you want to sponsor him so that the fans of him get to know the app and come in, right? Mark D says, excited to see if Veve gets any airtime on the heavyweight boxing match PPV telecast this Saturday. Fighting against China's champion could be bigger exposure than people are expecting. Yeah, that's exactly where I was getting to here. We have the post here from the Cray Mountain. For those that have no clue about boxing, Joseph Parker is a top 10 fighter worldwide. On his next match, he faces the China's Giant Li. The next winner of this match will cross with the winner of Anthony Joshua, and I cannot spell that name or say that name. And the winner goes to challenge the unified champion, the winner of the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. So crazy, right? Yusuk is the guy. This is a big deal. So yeah, that is really good, right? And here's the drop thing and so on. So looking forward to this stuff. Don't miss Veve's first sports collectible, Wednesday the 13th. So that's next week, middle of next week, we get this one. And I think that's really big. I saw some people commenting, oh yeah, a fighter that no one knows. That's not true, as we saw it here, like the top 10 fighters in the world. I don't like having to bridge Omi on the Veve app. I want to sell some collectibles for Omi. Yeah, that's exactly. Motili says Jim83 Rocket. I don't want to hear that because I didn't get it because I didn't get to the money necessary. So what? Ah man, journey into mystery. Yeah, it's at 1.2k and it was at 800 or 700 to 800 when I was eyeing this piece, and now it went up $500 since then. That sucks. Do you think we'll get Omi to NFT and or exchanges before the halving? Either way, bronze ticket coming Q2. That's true. Omi to NFT before halving. I think they will, if they have that, they will announce it when altcoins are doing well, so that Omi goes like in a big volume. Omi 190 million says South by Southwest starts on Monday next week. Okay, so that is the 11th. Okay, actually the 11th, not the 13th. Okay, I understand. Yeah, no matter what, if prices are going down, if that ever comes back, that thing to the price range that I needed to be, then yes, then I can pull the trigger. Otherwise, I have to accept that I didn't get in at the price when it was low. By the way, the market cap of this thing is 300,000, only the secret RAM. Patrick Bultman says they better sponsor Joost Klein for Eurovision. His YouTube song almost had 10 million views in days. Even if everything else pumps first, I'd be shocked if Omi didn't get its turn with people rolling profits into undervalued project. Exactly. So it will pump anyways. No one needs to be worried about that, in my opinion. So that is very true. Now, as a last thing here, and then I have to leave, we're going to look at the development on Veve. So actually, the increase here, we increased since January 6th. So over 1 month, we went from 655, 812 to 656, 191. So this is, what is that? Like, we had before an average of like 100 to 120 users, but this is like 300 users. That's like, no, 91, yeah, that's like 400 users in 1 month. So I think it looks like that there are more people coming into Veve at the moment, and the growth looks pretty steady. And at the same time, the issuance, we still are not at 10 million collectibles on the app overall, like everything minted, right? And a part of that is with Veve and with Marvel and with Disney and so on. Unique owners hit that, and a big part of this is of these unique owners here is the forever banned bots, right? Whoopsies, my frame went out of the frame. So I am positive about this development, and I hope that the music vertical, South by Southwest, that the boxing and so on, everything, that this increases, accelerates users. And then if we have an Omi pump, a lot of people will look, what does Omi do? They will find Veve, they will check out Veve, they will buy some collectibles. I think that is what's going to happen, but this will happen during altcoin season. So yeah, anyways, make sure to smash up the like button. If we have like 50 people here constantly, it would be cool if we have at least 52 people now. We should have at least 52 likes or even more from people. So that definitely should be the case. So I have to jump. Thank you very much for smashing the like, subscribing to the channel with notifications on. Thank you all for discussing here with me. Very, very important. And guys, wherever you are on the world, have a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. This run is going to be epic. We're all going to make it big. And with Ecomi, Veve, with altcoins, with Bitcoin, with everything. Stay tuned for the next one. We see each other at Crypto